Hello everyone. Today I am taking second part of three-dimension geometry in which we have to derive some formulae and then continue with the exercise, some questions. So number one, we are taking equation of a line through the given point and parallel to the given vector. That means equation of the line which is parallel to the given vector. Okay. So that is the formula, equation of the line. Equation of line. Okay. Parallel to given vector. What is the equation of this? And we will find out both the equations, the vector equation and Cartesian equation form. Okay. So it's a three-dimensional geometry, as I told you again and again. Three axes here. It is x, y, z. Suppose that is the line, and this line is parallel to the vector. Let the vector be. This line is parallel to the vector b. Let the line be L. O. Suppose there's a one point here as A, this is P. This point is A and that point is P. Okay. I will consider the position vector of point P, be vector R, and position vector of point A, be vector A. Is it okay? So in this triangle OAP, using triangle law of vector addition, vector AP is equal to OP minus OA. Vector AP is equal to OP minus OA. OP I have considered the position vector of point P is vector R. So vector R minus OA, position vector of point A is vector A. R minus A. Because this AP is parallel to the vector B. So when I write here, vector AP is equal to lambda vector B. Because if two vectors are parallel, two lines are parallel, when we put the equal sign, then one scalar quantity will be coming with that. So vector AP is equal to lambda vector B. And AP already we have got it, vector R minus vector A is equal to lambda vector B. So that means vector R is equal to vector A plus lambda vector B. What is it? This is the vector formula of a line which is parallel to the given vector and passing through one vector. Okay. So that is vector form. What is it? It's vector form. Vector form of a line. When we are going to find the Cartesian form, Cartesian form of line. How to find a Cartesian form of a line? See, it's very important because when we solve the question, generally what happens, we'll solve the question and in the question they are asking that convert into the vector form. We will convert into the vector, otherwise we'll convert into the Cartesian form from the vector. So this conversion is very important. Let us understand. Vector R. Suppose vector R is equal to, I'll consider xi plus yj plus zk. And it is always, because the common term R, and R is always used as an xi plus yj plus zk. Other terms can be varied, but it remains same everywhere. It is in the line or in the plane. Okay. Simply like when we write the equation 3x plus 4y plus 5z. This is an equation of plane. Any equation of line, when we are going to write it. So what we have to write here, x, y, z. And x, y, z always they are the general terms. They will never be changed. They are variable, their value can be changed. So vector R is equal to xi plus yj plus zk. Vector A is equal to, suppose I'll consider at a1i plus a2j plus a3k. And vector B is equal to b1i plus b2j plus b3k. Is it okay? So these three I have considered. Now I am going to put the value this R, A, B, C in this vector form equation. So vector R, xi plus yj plus zk is equal to a1i plus a2j plus a3k plus lambda b1i plus b2j and plus b3k. This is a substitution in this equation of R, A and B vector. So xi plus yj plus zk is equal to, I common, So A1 plus lambda B1 I, J common A2 plus lambda B2 J, sorry, and plus A3 plus lambda B3, it is K. Okay. When we compare the scalar components of I, J and K, so it is X is equal to A1 plus lambda B1, Y is equal to A2 plus lambda B2, and Z is equal to A3 plus lambda B3. Okay. If I'll separate, that means when I find the value of lambda in this, then what we have to get? X minus A1 upon B1, X minus A1 upon B1 is equal to lambda. Here is it? Y minus A2 upon B2 is equal to lambda. And this is Z minus A3 upon B3 is equal to lambda. Is it okay? Lambda is equal to this term, lambda is, and all lambdas are equal. So that means, can I write here X minus A1 upon B1 is equal to Y minus A2 upon B2 is equal to Z minus A3 upon B3 is equal to lambda. And friends, this is called the Cartesian form of line. Okay, this is the Cartesian form. And in this Cartesian form, you can understand that these A1, B1, C1, these are the points from where the line is passing. This is the point from where the line is passing. And B1, B2 and B3, these are the points of the vector to which the line is parallel. Okay, that means B1, C, B1, B2, B3, these are, we can use the term as a direction ratios of the line which is parallel to this line AP or the line L. Is it okay? So B1, B2, B3 are the direction ratio. Because two lines are parallel, then their direction ratios are same always. Okay, so we can use second term also, that B1, B2, B3 are the direction ratio of this line. Because the direction ratio of both the lines are same, they are parallel. So B1, B2, B3 are the direction ratio of this line, and this line is passing through the point A1, A2 and A3. Okay. So this formula can be used when we are going to find the equation of the line which is passing through one point and direction ratio is given. Passing through one point and direction ratio is given. So you can use this formula for finding the equation of line. Is it okay? So this is one. Second formula we are going to derive, in which equation of the line passing through 2 points. Equation of the line passing through 2 points. A slight change in that. In the previous term, there is a single point given on the line. Here there are 2 points given on the line. How many points given? There are 2 points given. Okay. Equation of the line passing through 2 points. Equation of line passing through 2 points. Okay. Let us see. Suppose this is the line. On that line there are 2 points. One point is, this is A, this point is B, and this is P. We're going to join it. Okay. On the line there are 2 points, point A and point B. Their position vectors are vector A, it's vector B, and suppose this is vector R. Okay. Vector A, vector B, and vector R. So I write here one thing. This is AP, vector AP is equal to, may I write, is equal to lambda vector AB. Same thing, having the same direction, this is AP, that is AB, and when we multiply any scalar quantity with vector AB, then it is equal to AP. Okay, so I write direct vector AP is equal to lambda vector AB, vector AB is equal to lambda vector AB. AP, position vector of P minus position vector of A, so that is vector R minus vector A is equal to lambda vector AB, position vector of B minus position vector of A. Okay, so vector R is equal to vector A plus lambda vector B minus vector A. Is it okay? Vector R is equal to vector A plus lambda vector B minus vector A. What is it? This is the equation of the line passing through 2 points. The points are A and B. We'll consider again R is equal to xi plus yj plus zk. Vector A is equal to a1i plus a2j plus a3k. Vector B is equal to, it is b1i plus b2j plus b3k. Okay, got it? When I put the value here, then see what is the result is coming. R xi plus yj plus zk is equal to vector A. Vector A, by the way, we can solve it, but remain like vector A, I can write here a1i plus a2j plus a3k plus lambda vector B minus vector A, vector B minus vector A. So direct I am writing b1 minus a1i, b1 minus a1i plus b2 minus a2j and plus b3 minus a3k. Is it okay? Direct I can put the value here. And now comparison also I will be direct. This is I, so it is a1 plus lambda b1 minus a1. So x is equal to a1 plus lambda b1 minus a1. Is it okay? Y is equal to a2 plus lambda b2 minus a2. And z is equal to a3 plus lambda b3 minus a3. Have you understood it? See, x, scalar component of I, x is equal to, here the scalar component I have this, a1 plus lambda b1 minus a1 with I. So a1 plus lambda b1 minus a1, a1 plus lambda b1 minus a1. Same as y is equal to a2 plus lambda b2 minus a2. And z is equal to a3 plus lambda b3 minus a3. Okay. Here what happens, the value of lambda is equal to x minus a1 upon b1 minus a1. Here lambda is equal to x minus a2 upon b2 minus a2. And lambda is equal to x minus a3 upon b3 minus a3. b3 minus a3. Is it okay? So that means x minus a1 upon a2 b1 minus a1, y minus, sorry, this is y and that is z. Okay, and y minus a2 upon b2 minus a2, z minus a3 upon b3 minus a3. Okay, is equal to lambda. Here, what is the difference from the first formula? Here, equation of the line passing through 1 point and passing through 2 points. So this is A1, B1, C1. You can treat any one of the points. Upon this is again direction ratios. When there are 2 points given on a line, suppose this is the line A and B, and the points are x1, y1, z1, it is x2, y2, and z2. How to find their direction ratios? x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1, and z2 minus z1. Same as these are the direction ratio, b1 minus a1, b2 minus a2, and b3 minus a3. Okay, so this is the equation of the line passing through 2 points. So that is one. Second, so first one is equation of the line passing through 1 point. Second equation of the line passing through 2 points. Third derivation we are discussing about, that is very, very important. Distance, shortest distance between two skew symmetric lines. Let me tell you first what is the meaning of skew symmetric lines. That means there are two lines in a space, they are neither parallel nor intersected. It's very ridiculous in the 2 dimension, because in the 2 dimension I think the lines are either parallel or intersected. But in 3 dimension it is not necessary. Two lines, they are not parallel and they are not intersected each other also. It is possible in the space. See how is it? This is the cuboid shape. It's very convenient shape in the cuboid. For understanding cuboid, it's very convenient. X, Y, and Z. Okay. When I draw two lines, okay, one line is this. One line is this. Suppose it is L. Okay. And second line, if I am going to draw like that. Now you can see, you visualize that and you imagine that it is a 3 dimensional phase. First line is going like that, second line is going like that. These two lines, they will never intersect each other, they are not parallel to each other. Is it okay? Means you don't think that this line will be extended and going to intersect it. It is possible in 2 dimension, it is not in a 3 dimension. See, this is a cuboid shape, it's a cuboid shape. One line is passing like that, okay, and second line is passing like that. 1 and 2. They are not parallel, they are not intersected. Okay. So these are called skew symmetric lines. Called skew symmetric lines. Okay. These are skew symmetric lines. And we are going to find the shortest distance between two skew symmetric lines. Okay. Shortest distance between two skew symmetric lines. So this is the concept of two skew symmetric lines. That means in a space you have understood new thing, that two lines, it is possible they are not parallel, they are not intersected, but it is possible only in 3 dimensional plane. It is not in a 2 dimensional. Okay. How to find the shortest distance between two lines? So the formula is shortest distance between two skew symmetric lines. Shortest distance between two skew symmetric lines. Is it okay? For finding the shortest distance, let us discuss one thing. Some things I have left, we'll discuss that. First, I am finding the shortest distance. Okay. Shortest distance, suppose this is the condition, there are two lines. One line is this, and second line is that. In 2 dimensional plane, I have made two lines. Okay. This line is L, that is M. And the equation of this line is equal to vector R is equal to A plus A1 plus lambda B1. This is vector R is equal to A2 plus lambda B2. Okay. What is the meaning of this line? The meaning is, this is the line passing through point A1 or passing through the vector A1 and parallel to vector B1. This is the line passing through A2 and parallel to vector B2. Is it okay? Suppose this is the point P, it is Q, right? And this is treated as a shortest distance. This is the shortest distance between them. Okay, so 90-degree angle R, and it is S, shortest distance, right? First of all, we'll understand one concept. Let me tell you. Okay. See, there are two lines. One line is this, second line is that. And this is the condition. In this condition, okay, these two lines are symmetric lines. When we are going to find the shortest distance, so suppose this is the shortest distance. And this shortest distance, which is perpendicular to the vector of that line, which is parallel to that vector, and it is also perpendicular to the line which is parallel to the vector. So the vector parallel to this line is b1 and parallel to this line is b2. Okay, so that means the distance between them, which is perpendicular to both the vectors b1 and b2. Is it okay? It is perpendicular to b1 and b2 both. So simply, if I want to find rs, okay, so vector rs is equal to what is this? This vector, the vector of this line, which is perpendicular to both the vectors b1 and b2. Okay, and that is perpendicular unit vector to both b1 and b2. So direct I write here rs is equal to perpendicular to vector b1 and vector b2. Is it okay? There is a unit vector n. Suppose may I consider this term that it is actually a unit vector n and d. Okay, so d is the distance, n is a vector which is perpendicular to both. So how to find perpendicular to both? Simply unit vector n is equal to b1 cross b2 upon magnitude of b1 cross b2. So definition of perpendicular vector, n is perpendicular to both b1 b2. So the b1 cross b2 upon magnitude of b1 b2, that is a unit vector perpendicular to both b1 and b2. Simply when we are going to find a vector which is perpendicular to two vectors, so simply what to do? Vector this multiplied cross product vector that one. And when we are going to find the unit upon magnitude. Okay. Actually, what is this? PQ and RS. RS is equal to this RS is the projection of PQ on RS. Actually, this RS is a projection of PQ on RS. So RS is equal to, may I write here, the projection of PQ on RS. Okay, projection of PQ on RS. And projection of PQ on RS, how to define? We'll define like that: PQ dot RS upon magnitude of RS. PQ on RS, so PQ dot RS, vector PQ dot RS upon magnitude of RS. Okay, this is equal to RS, that means the distance between them. So let us see PQ. PQ, what does it mean? Position vector of Q minus position vector of P. Position vector of Q, it is A2. Position vector of P, it is A1, because it's A2 plus lambda B2, A1 plus lambda. So PQ, that is vector A2 minus A1 dot RS. RS is equal to B1 cross B2. B1 cross B2 upon magnitude of B1 cross B2. Direct everything which I have written here, this is unit vector. So direct n multiplied by d. So B1 cross B2 upon magnitude of B1 cross B2, this is the meaning of RS upon magnitude of RS. Is it okay? So that is actually when you put the modulus form. So what is this? This is the perpendicular distance between RS. Is it okay? This RS is equal to projection of PQ and RS, and RS, what does it mean? RS is equal to, I can write here, N into D is a distance and this is the N. Got it? Or simply we'll understand RS is equal to projection of PQ on RS. So PQ dot RS upon magnitude of RS. PQ dot RS. RS is a unit vector which is perpendicular to both. So it is B1 cross B2 upon magnitude of RS, B1 cross B2 in magnitude form. Okay. So boys, this is the shortest distance. Shortest distance is equal to in magnitude A2 minus A1 dot B1 cross B2 upon magnitude of B1 cross B2. What is it? This is the shortest distance between two skew symmetric lines. Is it okay? So that is very important part to find the shortest distance between two lines. Second one, we are going to derive that the shortest distance between two parallel lines in a space. Two parallel lines in a space. Okay. Shortest distance between two parallel lines. Two parallel lines. We are talking about a 3D, okay, not in 2D. So shortest distance between two parallel lines, the simple condition, these two lines are there. Okay, there are two lines. One is vector R is equal to A1 plus lambda vector B, and this R is equal to A2 plus lambda B. B is same because the two lines are parallel, and parallel, that means they are parallel to a single line. So their parallel vector is same. Is it okay? There are two different points here. Again, we are taking PQ. So position vector of this is A2, and position vector of this Q is, it is A1. Okay. We are going to find the distance between them. PQ, it is R. Shortest distance, this angle is theta. Sorry, this angle is 90. It is 90. And this angle is theta. Okay. Again, we are going to find the shortest distance, and this shortest distance is perpendicular to both the vectors. Is it okay? It is perpendicular to both the vectors. What does it mean? The meaning is, when we are finding the term as PQ, when we are using simply a cross product term. So cross product term is, what is this? B, vector B cross PQ. Vector B cross vector B, this is vector B and cross PQ. We are going to find a cross product between them. This is vector B and it is PQ. So magnitude of B dot magnitude of PQ sine theta and unit vector n, which is perpendicular to both. So value of this unit vector is 1 here. So vector B cross PQ. PQ, what does it mean? P I have taken A1 and PQ I have taken A2. So this is vector B cross PQ, that means A2 minus A1 is equal to magnitude of B, magnitude of PQ sine theta unit vector n. Is it okay? So B cross A2 minus A1 upon magnitude of B, when I shift this term here, so vector B cross A2 minus A1 upon magnitude of B is equal to PQ sine theta. And what is the value of PQ sine theta? In triangle PQR, when I use sine theta is equal to perpendicular, that means opposite side upon hypotenuse. So opposite side, that is QR, upon hypotenuse is PQ. So that means QR is equal to PQ sine theta. Okay. So that means PQ sine theta, what does it mean? It is QR. So in place of PQ sine theta, I can write here vector A2 minus A1 upon magnitude of vector B is equal to QR. Okay. So QR, this is the shortest distance between two parallel lines, is equal to B cross A2 minus A1 upon magnitude of B. And you can put in the magnitude so that the distance is positive, right? And the value of unit vector n in the magnitude, its value is 1. So this unit vector n can be written in the magnitude form, its value is 1. So no meaning of it when you multiply it by 1 here. Got it? These are the shortest distance between two parallel lines. One concept is left which we have not discussed. I am going to discuss it. Angle between two lines. Actually, before the shortest distance, I had to explain that how to find the angle between two lines, but actually I have forgotten. So now let us see this concept, how to find the angle between two lines. Okay. Because it is very important point. Angle between two lines. Okay. One line is this, second is this. Vector R is equal to vector A plus lambda vector B and A1 and V1, and this is vector I is equal to A2 plus lambda vector B2. Okay, and let the angle between them is theta. How to find the angle between two lines? It is passing through point A1 parallel to B1, it is passing through point B2 and parallel to B2. So it is passing through the A1 or A2, it doesn't matter. We will see that the lines which are parallel to the vector. So these are parallel to the vector A1 and B1. Is it okay? Let vector B is equal to, V1 is equal to, may I write here, B1I, but here is, okay, B1, vector B1 is equal to B1I plus B2J, but B2 already I have taken here. So I'll take any other term. Vector B1 is equal to, I want to take it, A1I plus B1J plus C1K. And vector B2 I am taking A2I plus B2J and plus C2K. Is it okay? These two vectors I have taken. Angle between them. So for finding the angle between them, simply we'll use the definition of dot product. The definition of dot product, cos theta, just a minute, B1 cross B2, B1 dot B2 is equal to magnitude of B1, magnitude of B2, cos theta. Theta is angle between them. Is it okay? So that means cos theta is equal to B1 dot B2 upon magnitude of B1 and magnitude of B2. Is it okay? Cos theta is equal to, we'll put the value B1 dot B2. B1 dot B2. B1 A1I plus B1J plus C1K dot A2I plus B2J plus C2K upon magnitude of B1. A1 square plus B1 square plus C1 square. Magnitude of B2. A2 square plus B2 square and plus C2 square. So cos theta is equal to, when we use here dot product, so A1 A2 plus B1 B2 plus C1 C2 upon under root A1 square plus B1 square plus C1 square, A2 square plus B2 square and plus C2 square. What is it? This is the angle between two lines. A1 A2 plus B1 B2 plus C1 C2 upon under root A1 square plus B1 square plus C1 square under root A2 square plus B2 square plus C2 square. Is it okay? Right? If these are complete in the form of direction ratios, if you want to convert into the form of direction cosine, then what happens? A1 upon a1 square plus b1 square plus c1 square, that is L1 direction cosine. How to convert from direction ratios to direction cosines? a1 upon this, a2 upon this. a1 a2 upon this plus b1 b2 upon this. So both the terms, when we are converting into the form of that, so it is coming direct cos theta is equal to L1 L2 plus M1 M2 plus N1 N2 if L1 M1 N1 and L2 M2 N2 are the direction cosines. If L1 M1 N1 and L2 M2 N2 are direction cosines of these two lines, then what happens? Cos theta is equal to L1 M1 plus L2 M2 plus L3 M3. Is it okay? Directly we can replace this term. A1 A2 L1 M1, B1 B2 L1 M2, C1 C2 L1 M2. Okay. This is the value of cos theta when the direction cosines are given. But generally we will use this formula, angle between them. In this formula I will discuss one more thing. If theta is equal to 90, theta is equal to 90. Theta 90, what does it mean? Both the lines are perpendicular to each other. So when I put here cos 90, that is 0. So this entire term will be shifted here, multiplied with 0. The result is 0. That means the result is a1 a2 plus b1 b2 plus c1 c2 is equal to 0. So theta is equal to 0, then a1 a2 plus b1 b2 plus c1 c2 is equal to 0. Okay. This is the condition when both the lines are perpendicular to each other. If theta is equal to 0, then what is the condition? Theta is equal to 0, then the condition is cos 0, that is 1. We can shift this term here, solving it, and after solution we are getting the result a1 upon b1 is equal to a2 upon b2 is equal to a3 upon b3. Okay. So that means when they are parallel, simply you can understand like that, when these two lines are parallel, what does it mean? Their direction ratios are same. So this is b1 and b2. They are same. Okay. So these are the conditions. And one more thing, if this cos theta, but it is not required in the question, because generally it happens that sine theta, if we are converting into the form of sine theta, so sine theta is equal to 1 minus cos theta, will calculate this value, and the value is coming in the form of L1 M2 minus L2 M1 whole square plus M1 N2 minus M2 N1 whole square plus N1 L2 minus N2 L1 whole square in root. Okay, but in the syllabus it is not given. It is not required, not in the syllabus, it is actually not required in the question. So that's why we are not discussing that point. So remember, angle between two lines, when theta is equal to 0, then what is the condition? When theta is equal to 90, then what is the condition? Is it okay? So these are all things which I have discussed. Now we are ready to solve the question of exercise 11.2. Okay. All things you will remember. Just let me remind you once again. Equation of the line passing through one point and parallel to the vector or the direction ratios are given. So vector r is equal to vector a plus lambda vector b. Equation of the line passing through 2 points are vector a and vector b. Then vector r is equal to vector a plus lambda vector b minus vector a. Shortest distance a2 minus a1 dot b1 cross b2 upon magnitude of b1 cross b2. Shortest distance between two parallel lines vector b cross a2 minus a1 upon magnitude of b. Angle between two lines cos theta is equal to a1 a2 plus b1 b2 plus c1 c2 upon under root a1 square plus b1 square plus c1 square under root a2 square plus b2 square plus c2 square. Our cos theta is equal to, direct we can write here b1 dot b2 upon magnitude of b1 and b2. Okay. Theta is equal to 0, then a1 a2 plus b1 b2 plus c1 c2 is equal to 0. If it's not 0, it's a perpendicular. Then simply the term we can write here, that is a1 upon b1, a2 upon b2 and a3 upon b3. Exercise 11.2. Question number 1. Starting from question number 1. Show that three lines which direction cosines are mutually perpendicular to each other. Three lines are given. Show that three lines with direction cosines. Direction cosines are given. We are going to show that they are mutually perpendicular to each other. 12 upon 13 minus 3 minus 4. 12 upon 13 minus 3 upon 13 minus 4 upon 13. These are direction cosines of first line. 4, 12, 3. 4 upon 13, 12 upon 13, 3 upon 13. Direction cosines of second line. 3 minus 4, 12. 3 upon 13 minus 4 upon 13 and 12 upon 13. Direction cosines of three lines. We are going to show that they are mutually perpendicular to each other. Simple. For mutually perpendicular, that we can use the dot product, okay, and see that the result is coming 0 or not. So this is for the first line, direction cosines for the second line, and direction cosines for the third line. Okay. So I am taking lines first and second. These two lines we are taking, and that as you know that L1 M1 N1, L2 M2 N2. I am taking this L1 M1 N1, L2 M2 N2, and L3 M3 and N3. Is it okay? So let us see L1 L2 plus M1 M2 plus N1 N2 is equal to, let us see what result is coming. L1 L2, 12 4 ja 48 upon 169 plus M1 M2 minus 3 minus 36 upon 169 plus minus 12 upon 169. Minus 36 minus 12 minus 48 plus 48, that is 0. What does it mean? Line 1 and 2 are perpendicular. Lines 2 and 3. Lines 2 and 3. So L2 L3 plus M2 M3 plus N2 N3. 4 3 are 12 upon 169 plus 12 4 are minus 48 upon 169 and plus 36 upon 169. 0. Perpendicular. Lines L3 are lines 3 and 1. 3 and 1. L1 L3 plus M1 M3 plus N1 N3. L1 L3, 12 3, 36 upon 169 plus minus 3 multiplied by minus 12, it is plus 12 upon 169, and minus 4 multiplied by 12 minus 48 upon 169. Again it is 0. So what does it mean? All three lines, their direction cosines are given, they are mutually perpendicular to each other. Because the condition of mutually perpendicular is L1 L2 plus M1 M2 plus N1 N2 is equal to 0. Okay. I have explained you like that when the direction ratios are there, these are the direction cosines. So no change in that when you are finding the perpendicular condition. Got it? So this is the end of question number 1. Now let us see. Show that the lines through the point are perpendicular to the points. Same as we'll have to find the direction ratios and simply multiply it. Okay. Question number 2 for you, third one. Show that the line through the point 1, 2 is parallel to the line through the point this and this. So third question I am solving it. Third question. Because second and third are the same pattern. Third I am show that the line through the points 4, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4. 4, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4, and second line -1, -2, 1, and 1, 2, 5. We are going to show that the line which are passing through these 2 points are parallel. Okay. So for finding the parallelism or perpendicularism, what should be done? We have to find the direction of the line, direction ratio. Direction ratio of line passing through four, 7, 8 and 2, 3, 4 is direction ratios of the line passing through 4, 7, 8 and 2, 3, 4. Direction ratios are x2 minus x1. So 2 minus 4, 3 minus 7 and 4 minus 8. So that means -2, -4 and -4 and -4. The direction of the line passing through these 2 points, direction ratio. Okay. Now direction ratios of line passing through -1, -2, 1 and 1, 2, 5 are 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2 and 5 minus 1. So that means it is 2, 4 and 4. Is it okay? -2, -4, -4, 2, 4 and 4. Okay. Here what happens if I'll take minus sign common, then what happens? This is 2, 4, 4, it is 2, 4, 4. So both the lines are parallel. Okay. So clearly -2, -4 and -4. Okay. And 2, 4, 4 direction ratios of 2 parallel lines. Okay. Because they can be expressed in the form of, of vector A is equal to vector lambda B. And vector A is equal to lambda B, what does it mean? Vector A is equal to lambda vector A. Thus A and B both are same. Okay, because lambda is a -1, right? Or we can use that vector A is parallel to vector B. Got it? A is the first, B is the second, right? Or the condition I told you, A1 upon A2, B1 upon B2 and C1 upon C2, like this. -2 upon 2 can be expressed in the form of, rather than writing this, you can write like this. -2 upon 2 is equal to -4 upon 4 is equal to -4 upon 4. Okay. And all the terms are same, -1, -1, -1. Okay. So that means they can be expressed in the form of this. Therefore, they are parallel. Got it? Question number 4th. Find the equation of the line which passes through the point 1, 2, 3 and parallel to the vector. Okay. 4th question. Passes through the point 1, 2, 3 and parallel to the vector parallel to vector 3i plus 2j minus 2k. Okay. So you know that the vector equation vector A is R is equal to vector A plus lambda vector B. This is the equation. In this equation, simply we can put the value vector R is equal to A. When we vectorize this term, because the line is passing through this point, so when we vectorize it, it is 1i plus 2j plus 3k. So R is equal to 1i plus 2j plus 3k plus lambda vector B is 3i plus 2j minus 2k. Is it okay? This is the equation of the line passing through the point this and parallel to the vector. If you want to write in the Cartesian form, then simply x minus x1, so x minus 1 upon 3. What is it? It is the direction ratio of the line, 3, 2, minus 2. So x minus 1 upon 3, y minus 2 upon 2, and z minus 3 upon minus 2. This is Cartesian form. Okay? Cartesian form. And this is vector form. So in both the forms you can represent it. Next question number 5. Find the equation of the line. Find the equation of the line in the vector and in the Cartesian form that passes through the point with the position vectors are this and in the direction of that. The same question is there. Find the Cartesian equation of the line which passes through the point minus 2, 4, minus 5 and parallel to the line. Sixth question I am solving. Fifth is the same as like fourth. Sixth, find the Cartesian equation of the line which passes through the point minus 2, 4 and minus 5. Minus 2, 4 and minus 5. And parallel to line x plus 3 upon 3 is equal to y minus 4 upon 5 is equal to z plus 8 upon 6. Okay. And parallel to the given line. Now we are going to find the Cartesian equation of the line. So equation of the line is formula as you know that x minus x1 upon a1, y minus y1 upon b1, z minus z1 upon c1. So x minus x1, that means it is minus 2 upon a1. See, because we are going to find the equation of this line which is passing through point minus 2, 4 and minus 5. And this line is parallel to that line. What do you think about this line? Its direction ratios are 3, 5 and 6. Direction ratios are 3, 5 and 6. Because both the lines are parallel, therefore the direction ratios are same. Okay. So x minus x1 upon a1, it is 3. Y minus y1, y minus 4 upon 5. And z minus minus 5 upon 6. So this is x plus 2 upon 3 is equal to y minus 4 upon 5 is equal to z plus 5 upon 6. Okay. Because when two lines are parallel, their direction ratios are same. Okay. Not necessary to write a1 upon a2 is equal to b1 upon b2 is equal to c1 upon c2. They are same. So this is question number 6. Seventh question, the Cartesian equation of a line is given, write in its vector form. Simply we can write it, seventh question, x minus 5 upon 3 is equal to y plus 4 upon 7 is equal to z minus 6 upon 2. And in the question they are asking that Cartesian is given, write its vector form. Okay, we are writing in the vector form. For writing the vector form is equal to, let us consider as a lambda. So x is equal to 3 lambda plus 5, y is equal to 7 lambda minus 4, and z is equal to 2 lambda plus 6. Have you understood it? See, all three are equal, so leave these two. X minus 5 upon 3 is equal to lambda. Therefore, x minus 5 is equal to 3 lambda. So, x is equal to 3 lambda plus 5. Same as y plus 4 is equal to 7 lambda, y is equal to 7 lambda minus 4. And z minus 6 is equal to 2 lambda, z is equal to 2 lambda plus 6. Okay, right? If we'll vectorize this term, what happened? See, x, y, and z. Right? These are the 3 points. So when I write this in this format, if this is these 3 terms are there, 3 numbers are given, we are converting into the form of vectorize, then I'll write here xi plus yj plus zk is equal to 3 lambda plus 5i plus 7 lambda minus 4j plus 2 lambda 6k. This is the same thing like points are given 2, 3, 4. How to convert it to the vector form 2i plus 3j plus 4k. Same as. Okay. So now we are going to compare with I, j and k. xi plus yj plus zk is equal to, may I write 5i minus 4j, 5i minus 4j plus 6k plus taking lambda common. When I take lambda common, so it is 3 lambda I, so that means I'll write here 3i. Here is plus 7j and plus 2k. Is it okay? What is this? Vector r is equal to vector a plus lambda vector b. What is this? 0.5 minus 4, 6 from where the line is passing. 5 minus 4, 6 from where the line is passing. And the direction ratios of the line 3, 7, 2. 3, 7, 2. Is it okay? So this is the vector form of the line. R is equal to this term. We'll write here, this place can be written as a vector R is equal to 5i minus 4j plus 6k plus lambda 3i plus 7j plus 2k. Okay. So the vector form. By the way, rather than doing all these things, simply I can write here vector R is equal to 5i minus 4j plus 6k plus lambda 3i plus 7j minus 2k direct. Because these are the points from where the line is passing and these are the direction ratios. Find the vector and the Cartesian equation of the line passing through the points, passing through the origin and 2 points. So we are seeing, rather than solving 8, I am solving question number 9 because origin having 0, 0, 0. Okay, same as in question number 9. Find the vector and the Cartesian equation of the line passing through 2 points, 3 minus 2 minus 5. And second, 3 minus 2, 6. Okay. Equation of the line passing through 2 points. Equation of the line passing through 2 points. Simple formula, equation of line. I have derived this formula. Passing through 2 points. Sorry. So x minus x1 upon x2 minus x1, y minus y1 upon y2 minus y1, z minus z2 upon z2 minus z1. Not to worry about that. These are the direction ratios and these are the points from where the line is passing. So we have two options. We can put in place of x1, y1, z1 either these three points or these 3 points. Okay. So not to worry about that. We are taking, suppose this is x1, y1, z1. It is x2, y2 and z2. Anything can be taken. x1, y1, z1, x2, y2, z2. Okay. X minus x1. So it is x minus 3 upon x2 minus x1. 3 minus 3. Y minus minus 2. Y minus minus 2 upon minus 2 plus 2. Minus 2, it is plus 2. Z minus minus 5 upon Z2 minus Z1. So 6 plus 5. Is it okay? Got it? So what does it mean? X minus 3 upon 0 is equal to Y plus 2 upon 0 is equal to Z plus 5 upon 11. Okay. So nothing special in that. These every terms, they are not defined. Z plus 5 upon 11. Okay. Z plus 5 upon 11. So that means the equation of the line is Z plus 5 upon 11. Other terms are not there. The direction ratios are coming there. 0, 0 and so their direction ratios are 0, 0 and 11. And if direction ratios are 0, 0 and 11, what does it mean? This is the line only along the z-axis. Okay. It's a line along the z-axis. Z plus 5. So z is equal to this line is passing through the points. That means its a point is 3 minus 2 minus 5. Okay. And direction ratios are 0, 0, 11. We can treat like that. Direction ratios are 0, 0, 11. Okay. And line is this. Got it? Find the angle between the following pair of lines. I will use one formula for finding the angle. Find the angle between the lines. So I want to select one of the questions for finding the angle. There are two questions are there. I am taking the second question. Second question, 10th question, second part. 10th question, second part. Vector r is equal to 3i plus j minus 2k plus lambda 3i plus j minus 2k plus lambda I minus j minus 2k. I minus j minus 2k. Second vector r is equal to, this is the equation of second line, 2i minus j plus 56k. It's a very big number. Sorry, minus 56k plus mu 3i minus 5j minus 4k. 3i minus 5j minus 4k. Okay. We are going to find the angle between them. Let the angle between them be theta. Is it okay? Therefore, this is, suppose it is b1 and this vector is b2. Got it? Then cos theta is equal to b1 dot b2 upon magnitude of b1 dot b2. This is the definition of dot product. Cos theta is equal to b1 dot b2 vector upon magnitude of b1 dot b2. Okay. Because no use of the points from where the lines are passing. we have to use only the lines which are parallel to the vectors. Okay, so these are the two vectors to which the lines are parallel. So cos theta is equal to b1 b2 I minus j minus 2k dot 3i minus 5j minus 4k upon b1. Magnitude of this 1 square minus 1 square and minus 2 square. Magnitude of it 3 square minus 5 square and minus 4 square. Okay, so cos theta is equal to multiply 3 I dot I, it is 1, minus j and j, it is plus 5, and minus 2 and minus 2, it is plus 4 to the 8. Okay, this is 3 plus 5 and plus 8 upon, what is it, 4, 5, 6, under root 6. What is the second term? 9 plus 25, 25 plus 9, it is 34, 34 plus 16, 34, 6, 40, and it is 50. Okay, 16 and 9, 25, and 25, it is 50. So that is 8, 8, 16 upon under root 6 and under root 50. So 16, 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 upon 6, 2 into 3, and 52 into 5 into 5. Okay, so that means I can write here 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 upon one pair of 2 is out, one pair of 5 is out, here is only root 3 left. So 2 will be cancelled. 4 to the 8 upon 5 root 3 is equal to cos theta. Therefore, theta is equal to cos inverse 8 upon 5 root 3. This is the angle between them. Okay, angle between two lines. Now we are selecting question in which we have to find the shortest distance between two lines. Or before that, let us see if any other question which is interesting and important I will discuss with you. Question 11 is given, find the angle between the following pair of lines. Here also we are going to find the angle, but not to worry about that. Direct we can use the direction ratios and using cos theta, the same formula. So 11th question for you I am leaving. Number 12th, find the value of P so that the lines this and this are at a right angles. This question I am going to solve it. 12 question 12. Find the value of P so that the line 1 minus x upon 3 is equal to 7 by minus 14 upon 2p and is equal to z minus 3 upon 2. Second, 7 minus 7x upon 3p is equal to by minus 5 upon 1, 6 minus z upon 5. Okay, are at a right angles. These lines are at a right angles. Okay, that means they are mutually perpendicular to each other. But here, generally the mistake which is done, generally the mistake is done. Simply you are multiplying 3 multiplied by 3p, 2p multiplied by 1 plus 2 multiplied by 5 is equal to 0. Okay, because simply you'll see that these are the direction ratios. These are the direction ratios. Second line a1 upon a2 plus b1 upon b2 plus c1 upon c2 is equal to 0. But you will see that it is in the standard form, yes or no. See, some of the parts are not in the standard form. So first we have to convert into the standard form of the lines, and after that we will multiply it and put the condition a1 a2 plus b1 b2 plus c1 c2 is equal to 0. 1 minus x. We'll take minus sign common, so it will become x minus 1 upon 3. Is it okay? From here, this is the coefficient of y 7, but in the standard form, it is only y minus y1, x minus x1, z minus z1. So I'll take 7 common, y minus 2 upon 2p, z minus 3 upon 2. Is it okay? And second one, 7 minus 7x. I'll take minus 7 common, so it is coming x minus 1 upon 3p is equal to y minus 5 upon 1, and minus sign common, then it is z minus 6 upon 5. Okay. Next step, this minus sign can be written here, x minus 1 upon minus 3 is equal to y minus 2 upon this 7 may write 2p upon 7. When you multiply it going to the upside, z minus 3 upon 2, and here it is x minus 1 upon 3p upon 7 with minus. Okay. Is equal to y minus 5 upon 1 is equal to z minus 6 upon minus 5. Now these two equations are coming in the standard form. After that we can put the perpendicular condition. So perpendicular condition is, what is it? a1 a2 plus b1 b2 plus c1 c2 is equal to 0. Okay. So this is now a1 b1 c1, it is a2 b2 and c2. So I put the value a1 a2 minus 3 multiplied by minus 3p upon 7 plus b1 b2 2p upon 7 multiplied by 1 and plus 2 multiplied by minus 5 is equal to 0. Okay. So the result is 3 3s are 9p upon 7 plus 2p upon 7 minus 10 is equal to 0. We are finding the value of p. So 9p plus 2p, it is 11p upon 7 is equal to 10. Therefore p is equal to 10 multiplied by 7 upon 11, 70 upon 11. Okay. Minus 3 into 3p upon 7, 2p upon 7 multiplied by 1 and 2 multiplied by minus 5. So it is 9p upon 7, 2p upon 7 and minus 10. Got it? So this is the value of p, 70 upon 10. Right? So whenever you'll see the question, just you'll see that it is in the form of standard form, yes or no. If it is not in the standard form, first of all to convert in the standard form, and only then you can put the formula. Thirteenth question, show that the lines are perpendicular to each other. The same condition will be used here. Okay, now the question is coming, number 14th. Find the shortest distance between lines. Okay, find the shortest distance between lines, and there are 14, 15, 16, and of course the 17th. There are 4 questions for finding the shortest distance between the lines. Okay, so I want to take difficult out of these 4 questions, 14, 15, 16 and 17. I want to take question number 17, in which lines are not given in the standard form. Okay, so out of these 4 questions I am taking 17th. By the way, procedure is same for all. 17th question I want to take it. Okay, I think the lecture is lengthy. Marker is also not working. 17, find the shortest distance. Vector r is equal to 1 minus ti I plus t minus 2j and plus 3 minus 2tk. Okay. Second equation is s plus 1I 2s minus 1j, and third one is minus 2s plus 1k. Okay. Once again, let us see 1 minus t, t minus 2, 1 minus t, t minus 2, 3 minus 2t, all are positive sign. S plus 1, 2s minus 1, and 2s plus 1. Third sign is negative. Okay. We are going to find the shortest distance between them. To convert in the standard form first. Okay. How to convert this? I am taking the first line. R is equal to, this is I plus tj, I plus tj and plus 3k. I plus tj plus 3k. I plus tj plus 3k. Okay. Okay. I plus tj plus 3k minus ti minus 2j and minus 2tk. Got it? Here what I am going to do, I, j, k will be kept together like I minus 2j plus 3k plus t is common, and with ti common, so it is minus I plus j and minus 2k. Is it okay? See from here, I minus 2j plus 3k. I minus 2j plus 3k plus t common minus I plus j minus 2k. It is in the standard form, because generally in the equation what happens, it is lambda and mu. Here it is in the form of t and s, and equations are also are not in the form of standard. That's why I have selected this question for you. For second, this is 1. Second, r is equal to, direct I am writing now, taking I, j, k without s. 1 I or I only, minus j and minus k. Okay. Plus s, taking s common, so si, that means it is I, 2sj plus 2j and minus 2sk minus 2k. It is number 2. Correct? Now these are two equations in the standard form. A1. What is A1? Vector A1 is equal to the point from where the first line is passing, that is